6-4 line plots. West Sioux had a juice chugging contest for a minute to win it. Here are the results. We need to build a line plot to represent the data in the table. First, we're going to find the smallest number used in the data table. So here I'm seeing 1, that's the smallest one, and that's going to be the first number that we start with on our number line. Then we're going to find the smallest fraction that's used. So I saw 1/2, 3/4, and 1/4. So the smallest one that I saw out of all those was 1/4. And that's what we are going to count by to fill in our number line. I filled in the number line to 2 because I saw the biggest that the data goes is to 1 3/4. So there's no really reason to go any further than 2. At the bottom of your line plot, you will put down the units that you used. So here in the data, we used cups. So I'm going to write that on the line. At the top of the line plot, you need to include a title. So summarizing what this whole data table is about. Well, it's about a juice contest, so that's going to be my title. Now we can start plotting the points. So Kyla has 1.5. We're going to put an X on 1.5, or 1 2/4. Jane has 1 3/4 cups that she drank, so an X is going to go on top of 1 3/4. Dustin has 1, so an X goes on the 1. Now you'll see here that I put a ginormous X above the 1, and all my other X's are a smaller size. It's very important when you're making line plots that all of your X's are in a nice straight row and they are the same size for each X that you make. Make it as close and neat as possible. Otherwise your data looks completely wrong. Because right now it looks like Dustin, or the 1 column, has more, but really there's only 1 person in the 1 column. There we go. That little X that's in a straight row is much better. Braden, Leslie, and Russell all have 1 1/4 cups that they drink, so their X's get stacked on top of each other. Now you can really see why it's important that we have nice, neat, straight rows, because we're starting to notice that 1 1/4 has more than the other columns. Lastly, I add Shireen's data to the table, or to the line plot, and now my line plot is complete. After you make your line plot, you will have to answer questions about the line plot. They will be similar to these that I gave you here. What is the greatest number of cups someone chugged? We need to find the greatest number, so I have 1 3/4. That's the biggest number of cups that someone chugged. 1 3/4 cups is my answer. Next, what is the difference between the most cups and the least cups chugged? So here again we're going to use the most. We already have that highlighted in red. And we need to find the least. So that's 1. And it's asking for the difference, so we know we need to subtract. So we're going to take 1 3/4 minus 1 to find our answer of 3/4. The next question asks, what is the mode of this line plot? Mode means the most number of X's. So from this line plot we can see 1 1/4 has the most, or it's the mode of the line plot. And the last question asks, what is the total number of cups chugged during the contest? So total, that's asking for the whole thing, adding up all of those numbers together. And each X represents a number. So even though I have 1 1/4 one time on the number line, there are 3 X's for 1 1/4. So I need to add it 3 times in my number sentence. Since we're adding the fractions here, I need to double check that all my denominators are the same. because I need a common denominator to add fractions. Luckily, my denominator is the same, so I don't have to find a common denominator, so I know right away my denominator will be 4. Now I'm going to add all the numerators, so 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, plus 2, that's 4, so together that's 7, plus 3, altogether that's 10. Now I need to add up the whole numbers. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, which 4 plus 3 is 7. I can see that I have an improper fraction. I can leave it like that, but I also want to challenge some of you guys to make sure to, if you recognize that's an improper fraction, to rewrite it so it's no longer improper. So I'm going to change this so that it's 9 2/4. There we go. We just answered all the questions.